Anime should not be as popular as it is. All right, we got it? Okay. Clickbait over. I don't mean that probably the same way you think I mean that. If you want my true opinion on this, things like anime should definitely be popular. If you're one of the motherfuckers that gatekeeps anime because you think that it was better as a small community, dude, open your eyes. We're having more fun now than we ever have. Like, enjoy it. Anime's breaking through the mainstream and almost everyone's talking about it. No, what I mean by anime shouldn't be as popular as it is the state of the industry and how it treats its animators. Hi, I'm Bayfond, and I like to talk about anime. And something that needs to be talked about more often is how these creatives are just bombarded with work on top of work for an industry that's growing exponentially, but they're not earning any of those rewards. Reason I'm talking about this now is because there's a recent article that came out about like Isekai Oji-san. You know, like that anime that has Dio voicing the main character, and it's like about this guy that went on an isekai back before it was cool. Yeah, that one. Apparently, the work conditions for that show have been abysmal. And if we're gonna be fair, throughout the entire industry, that's the case with almost every single show and most studios. Whether it be budgetary constraints or the fact that anime isn't seen in the same light as other artistic forms, these creators are usually pushed to their edge. A great, fantastic video about this subject was on Trash Taste. You know, everyone knows Trash Taste. It's the go-to anime podcast. When they have this special guest, which was an animator, come onto the show and talk about their experience working days on end, having to live in the studio basically, working on shows. I get that there's a sense of pride when it comes to working on a certain project, but the fact that it takes such a physical and mental toll on its creators is shameful. It's a shameful reflection on how the studios are treating its people. And along with that, in the video with Trash Taste too, they mentioned how that price for each animation has gone down drastically, so people are being paid a lot less for the amount of work that they're doing too. A completely unfair treatment for what these animators are doing, no matter if they're freelance or if they're working for the company itself. And I guess in a broader scope, this is a reflection as well on Japan's view of work in general. There's this big stereotype where, like, you know, a Japanese salesperson is gonna be busy working all the time, always on a phone call, stressed out at all times. I mean, there's plenty of manga and anime that are already based on those working conditions where the employees are basically being exploited. Like, I made videos about like smoking in the back of a supermarket convenience store and how that main character works at a black company. These kinds of things are normal in Japanese society, and in order to change it, it would require a large social reform. And while you can say that this form of work has been working for the past few decades, well, though that is true, it really shouldn't have lasted as long as it has. Anime's been evolving ever since like celebrities on the Western side have been like mentioning it more and more in casual conversation. Nowadays, it's easier than ever to get into a show because of the wide variety of streaming services that supply it to us, the Western audience. Crunchyroll is not the only source anymore. Netflix holds a chokehold on some of our favorite shows, and they put out deals with these companies so that they can get streaming rights exclusively first. But with these harsh working conditions, you can plainly see the reasons to declining mental health in the communities over in Japan. It's a fact that Japan's rate of suicide among like the working class is one of the highest in the world. The societal pressures to save face and not complain are far too many, and they push people to the brink every day. Sure, shows are being done, and the quality of anime hasn't been better. In the past, like years ago, like 5 or 10, seasons only had about 1 or 2 shows to pay attention to on average. Nowadays, one anime company can have about 3 shows coming out in one season, and there's gonna be tons more added on top of that. Anime is being churned out like crazy, and somehow this fractured way of working is still making good content. But people will get exhausted after doing this for so long. Burnout is a real thing. The ways that these can be solved are by hiring maybe bigger teams, giving bigger benefits, allowing for more days off and for more breaks. But that would also require a break in the schedule for what's coming out. And since anime is more popular than ever, that's becoming harder than ever to do too. It's quite the conundrum that the community's in, because we're greedy. We want more shows, and we want them fast. We want them done as quick as possible so we have them able to digest and just forget about the next day. But oftentimes we forget about the real tolls this has on people. What I can just say right now, and what I've been trying to do, is always trying to support the industry. Instead of pirating things or just watching things on streaming, buy the physical releases when they're coming out. You know, give credit where credit's due and try to make it so that companies have more leeway in how they treat their employees, so that they don't have to rush so much for a new product to come out, so that they're more in a comfortable spot to release things. There are a bunch of Patreons and organizations that work to also help creators in situations like these, to support the animators in their time of needs and when the company's not giving them their just due. I can put a few of them in the description of this video. So when you're watching a show, just keep in mind how much blood, sweat, and tears actually went into each one of those animation cells. So with that, this was Bayfund, and I was just giving my 2 cents on this topic. See you guys next time with hopefully something a lot more lighthearted. See ya.